and welcome to another episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. I'm James.
And I'm Sarah.
And on today's episode, we're going to chat. And then I pulled up some stuff about holidays in December, funny traditions for the holidays, and 11 wacky holiday traditions around the world. So I figured we could look at those things and just chat a little bit. So I just got Moira back.
Yeah.
It was exciting. So for those of you that don't know, my car was involved in an accident before Christmas or before Thanksgiving. And it was a rear bumper or a fender bender. I was rear-ended, and it wasn't too bad, but the rear end needed, or the bumper needed to be replaced because it smashed part, like the bumper. There was some stuff that happened inside. So I was supposed to go get it. They called me on Wednesday and told me, hold on.
He's coughing.
Sorry. So they called me on Wednesday and told me, oh, it's ready today. You can come and pick it up at any point. So I was like, okay, cool. I went and took a look at it, walked around, and there was some bird poop on it. And I was like, well, that's fun. And because they had just washed it. So they did a really good job. They like washed it. They cleaned the inside of it too. So like they vacuumed and like cleaned the interior as well. And then I was like, what is this? So, well, she was like, oh, let me go grab someone. They can grab a little cloth and come out and clean that off for you. So she went and grabbed someone. They grabbed a cloth. And then while she was away, I noticed a little chip of paint was missing on the rear fender above the passenger side tire. So I pointed that out, and she's like, oh, well, we can't let you take it like that. So let me go grab someone. They'll come out and take a look at it, and we'll just keep you in your rental. So they took a look at it, and they were like, oh yeah, it does look like, I don't know how it happened, but it looks like maybe there's a little chip here from something. So we'll go ahead and just take care of it, and here's your rental key back. They were like, if we can get it in tomorrow, it'll be ready by Thursday. So tomorrow, Thursday. Otherwise it'll be ready Friday. I was like, that's fine. I wasn't expecting it to be ready until Friday anyway. So I called today, and they were like, yes, it'll be done. You can come pick it up anytime around 4. So I got there, and they were like, okay, it's ready. And we went out and took a look at it and walked around it, and they brought me back inside, and she was like, oh, just so we saw there, it looks like the chip was there before we did our work, but we went ahead and did it anyways. I was like, it doesn't matter. That was part of the area that was damaged, so you should have painted it anyway.
Right.
Like even if it was there before you did the work, I didn't think one of your people did the damage to it.
Right.
I don't care. I'm just glad it's fixed.
There was an accident. That's why it's there.
Yeah. But I have Moira back, and I haven't really driven her, and she really needs to charge because she's at 22%.
Oof. Which
is fine. I have to take her to the dealership tomorrow and get her tires rotated and the cabin air filter replaced. So
okay.
that was my day today, other than work, which was kind of uneventful. We had some stuff that we needed to work on for 2024. We're really kind of wrapping up 2024, really, or 2023, and ready to move into 2024.
Same. I'm ready to move into 2024.
How was your day?
It was a week.
Did you bleach your hair?
No, that's where the purples faded out.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. It looks kind of like, in the camera, it looks like black and gold, or like black and silver.
It is. It's more silver in real life. I like it a lot, actually. Which is why I've just left it. I haven't done anything with it. My week was okay. Work has been stressful because it's the holidays. Just a lot of stuff going on. But I got a bonus. So
that's exciting.
Nice. And I went out to karaoke last night, which was a lot of fun. Hung out with everybody from our polyam group. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed seeing everybody and listening to people sing, and I had a gin and tonic for the first time in a really long time because I don't drink very often. Um, and I had also taken an edible as well. So I was crossfaded as fuck. I still remember everything that happened last night, but I was so out of my mind. I was very happy about everything. Everything was great.
It's funny. All right.
Yeah, but other than that, not a whole lot.
Well, I mean, it is nice to get a chance to not do anything or wind down a little bit. How are school things going, or are you done for right now?
I am done for right now. I failed my last art history test.
I think we talked about that, unless this is a different test, Sarah.
No, I don't think it's a different test.
Okay.
Let me see. I've been scared to log in and see what my final grades were. So we'll do it together.
Oh yay. So update.
Oh,
Sarah's
yay.
grades are coming in, and tomorrow I should potentially have my actual physical master's degree.
Woot woot.
It was sent to my father's house, and he just sent it to me this week. He just received it like 2 weeks ago, but he just got around to sending it to me.
You know what? I'm fine with her giving me a C on that. I really am. Okay, so my final letter grade for my English class is an A.
Well, that's good. I mean, not surprising for you.
I mean, I'm a little surprised. I was not doing very well there at the end. It looks like my art history teacher has not posted my final grades yet. Currently my calculated grade is sitting at 76%.
So a C?
Yeah. Which it's fine.
It's not a fail. Yeah.
It's not an F, which is what I was concerned about. But like I said, that's not the final posted grade yet.
No.
So
how many points would you need to maintain that C?
I don't actually know, because I'm going to be honest, the way that she did like the grading system on it is really weird. Let me see actually if I can, because
that's what I liked about Purdue Global. It was like every class you had a total of 1,000 points that you earned over the course of the class. So your assignments, discussion boards, interactions, whatever, everything added up to 1,000 points. So you could always like, okay, if I do, that's why every time I was messaging you and Sam and Kristen, I was like, all I need is like 95 points or 75 points, and I still have an A.
Right. I should be able to see, because sometimes it tells me if I go into like my actual academics area, it will tell me. So let's see. So, okay, yes. So the final grade did get posted on here. It just doesn't show up on the other one. So I did get a C.
Okay.
So my GPA for this last semester was still a 3.3. So
that's not bad.
No, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not as good as my 4.0 from, my first semester, but whatever, it's fine. It's fine. But anyway.
At least it's over.
At least it's over. I have a break. And hopefully I will
start your next term refreshed and excited and ready to observe the knowledge that is being passed to you.
Exactly. Everything that you said there. Perfect.
And if it sucks again, just take a knee.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, you want to jump into some of these holidays so we can kind of like do rapid fire back and forth?
Sure. 1 second. I've got them pulled up. I just have to close out my school stuff that I pulled up. Are we starting with the 11 holidays the world celebrates in December?
Yes.
Okay.
So it looks like the first one on this list is called Saint Nicholas Day, celebrated on December 5th or the 6th. Also known as the Feast of St. Nicholas, Christians honor the birthday of St. Nicholas. And the inspiration behind Santa Claus given his proclivity towards gift giving.
Fun fact, though, that gets left out about St. Nicholas is that he was also a necromancer.
Hmm.
He raised 3 dead children back to life after they were killed by a butcher who tried to pickle them.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
may have talked about this before.
I think we have once before, but yeah,
Interesting.
something to remember. Immaculate Conception Day, which is December 8th. Catholics celebrate the day of Immaculate Conception to honor the Virgin Mary, who's believed to have been born without original sin. The day is often celebrated by going to church and feasting.
I also find it interesting that you leave the T in often.
Often?
Yeah, because I say often instead of often. I think I switch back and forth. I don't know.
I was going to say, I've never noticed that you just leave out the T.
Yeah. Also, like a lot of people, I can't remember what the word is. Never mind. I forget. So the next one on the list is, I'm going to say it's Bodhi Day.
I think so, yeah.
Bodhi, for those of you that would like to look it up. It is on December 8th. It's also known as Ratsu Day. This Buddhist tradition honors the day in which the Buddha Siddhartha, Siddhartha, thank you, Gautama, is said to have achieved enlightenment. Many Buddhists celebrate this through meditation.
And then there's the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, which is on December 12th. Mexicans and Mexican Americans often celebrate the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, the patron saint of Mexico, who symbolizes patriotism and devotion. Millions of pilgrims typically visit the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe in December to celebrate the festival, which marks one of several apparitions of the Virgin Mary that some Catholic believers say was witnessed by an indigenous Mexican man in 1531. The Virgin Mary's face is abundant in Mexico in homes, shops, and shrines.
And I am going to amend this next one because the dates are wrong, because this is from last year. So this is from 2022. But it's the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. And this one in last year, it began on December 18th. This year, I think it was it ends today.
Really? It's already over?
Yeah. Oh. So what is that? 8 days. It goes for 8 days. So last year it was from the 18th to the 26th. This year it ended on the 15th, which is today. Okay. The 8-day Jewish holiday of Hanukkah begins again in 2022. It was on the 18th. A central part of the Jewish Festival of Lights entails the lighting of the 9-branched menorah each night. The 9th candle is used to light the others. The ritual symbolizes how 1 day's worth of oil miraculously lasted for 8 days during a battle between a small group of Jewish people and the powerful Greek-Syrian army in the year 165 BC. Per Jewish tradition, they are said to have emerged victorious and reclaimed the Holy Temple in Jerusalem.
Are you going to include their customary foods?
What?
The customary foods.
I don't see that. Oh, there's a De Beers commercial.
Oh.
Ad in between it. So yes, customary foods include latkes, which is potato pancakes, suffagant, a jam-filled donut, and brisket. And children often play with a dreidel, which is a spinning top with Hebrew letters.
So, fun fact about Hebrew, it is one of the only languages to have returned from the dead. It was originally an extinct language, but through patience and time and suffering, it was brought back into life. So now there are people who are born with Hebrew as their first language.
So yeah, Hanukkah was December 7th through the 15th this year. So it changes every year, which is interesting because I thought it also, I didn't realize it changed every year.
Yes. I knew it changed every year, but I thought it was more towards the middle of the month. But, I don't know the rules. Yule is usually celebrated from December 21st through January 1st. Wiccans and neo-pagans celebrate the winter solstice, the darkest day of the year, which is on December 21st, through the festival of Yule. The winter solstice marks the shortest day and longest night of the year. Yule celebrates the reemergence of the sun and the days beginning to grow longer again. The festival was first celebrated in Scandinavia as a Norse festival. A common tradition is burning the Yule log, which originally was done to celebrate the sun's return. It has since also been folded into Christmas tradition. In fact, Yule became associated with Christmas in the 9th century, although some still stick to the original Yule celebrations. You'll see that a lot with most Christianized holidays, is that they were kidnapped from original pagan holidays as a way to convert people over.
They were adopted.
They were kidnapped.
I tried to say politely. And then the next one on this list is Christmas, which is on December 25th. Christians celebrate Christmas largely to commemorate the birth of Jesus, but the festival has also been adopted as a secular family holiday by people of all faiths. It's marked as by an exchange of gifts, as well as excitement for the arrival of Santa Claus. Krish Kringle.
So then we have Boxing Day, which is December 26th, the day after Christmas, a British tradition that occurs the day after Christmas and dates back to the 1800s when Queen Victoria ruled the throne. At the time, it was a day to ensure that upper-class Britons gave servants and workers a day off, in addition to giving them a present. The holiday has since evolved into a more commercial occasion for gift giving.
I like how you just breezed right by me getting ready to pronounce other names for Santa Claus.
Sorry.
That's okay. The next one is Kwanzaa on December 26th through January 1st. The week-long holiday of Kwanzaa honors African American heritage. It's a cultural holiday as opposed to a religious one. I saw the word opposed and it tripped me up. Black nationalist Maulana?
That's how I would say it.
Karenga. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering these names. That is my fault. I'm an ignorant white person again. Created Kwanzaa in 1966 as a way to unite the African American community following the Watts Rebellion in a predominantly black Los Angeles neighborhood. An uprising against systemic racism began after a white California highway patrol officer arrested a young black man for drunken driving. The rebellion led to 34 deaths, 2/3 of which were individuals shot by police or National Guard troops. For the Associated Press, it has also resulted in more than 1,000. It also resulted in more than 1,000 injuries. Karenga laid out 7 key principles for Kwanzaa: unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Its name comes from the Swahili phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which translates to first fruits. Kwanzaa celebrations draw from African musical and storytelling traditions. I didn't know that about that. And there's apparently it's like the same like lighting of, it's not a menorah. I don't know what it's called. Is that Kwanzaa?
Yes, there are lighting of candles for Kwanzaa as well, but I don't know really anything about Kwanzaa.
So it was interesting because this year we, at the facility that I work at, every year we did at least the menorah, and there was also always the tree. And then this year, I don't know if we did it last year, but this year they also did the lighting of the. I don't know what it's called for Kwanzaa, and I should look it up. But the like menorah thing for Kwanzaa, and there's apparently like a mat that goes underneath it for the tradition.
I knew that. I'm gonna be real honest. The only parts about Kwanzaa that I remember is from watching The Proud Family as a child, child. I stand by my statement. Child, teenagers, or children. Anywho, are you looking it up?
Yes, like a type.
Constantly a problem I have.
It's called the Kinra. a 7-branched candle holder used for Kwanzaa celebrations in the United States. And
Sorry.
it's the 7 principles. So it represents the 7 principles of Kwanzaa.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's interesting. Okay. All right. Moving on.
All right. I'm going to apologize if I mispronounce this. I think it's Zarathosht Diso, which is also December 26th. Founded by the prophet Zoroaster more than 3,000 years ago, Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions. Zoroastrians honor the death of their prophet on this day, typically by visiting a fire temple and offering prayers. What is his name? Freddie Mercury was Zoroastrian.
So that's if we include Yule, because it runs through, and Hanukkah, because last year it did. But if you include Yule, Boxing Day, Kwanzaa, and Zoroastrian, there are 4 holidays sometimes that go to or are on the 26th. That's interesting.
Which is why it's also important to say happy holidays and not just Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and I don't really understand people's aversion to just saying happy holidays. Like, I get it, you celebrate Christmas. Is it really that big of a deal for you to say happy holidays to someone that doesn't celebrate Christmas or that doesn't identify that they celebrate any specific holiday?
Right? Like, as we are just going through, we're getting ready to talk about the last holiday in December, but there are so many different holidays going on in December, depending on who you are and what culture you belong to, so on and so forth. So maybe stop being self-centered Christian pricks and say happy holidays instead of just Merry Christmas.
I do think it's more of a it's more of a way for you to like make a stink, and it's unnecessary. You're just making yourself look rude.
You're just making yourself look uncultured.
And then the last one included on this list, which I'm sure is probably not the last holiday that is celebrated in December, but the last one is New Year's Eve. The day every New Year is met with the anticipation around the world as
revelers.
I don't like that word. As revelers party, set off fireworks, set resolutions, and count down to midnight to welcome the new beginnings. In many post-Soviet countries, the holiday is celebrated with traditions similar to Christmas, such as arrival of gifts from Grandfather Frost.
So, New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday. I love New Year's Eve.
It's kind of just like a giant party for the entire world to come together and celebrate a new beginning.
Yeah, exactly. It's a chance at a new start. It's like opening up the next chapter of a book. You don't know what's going to happen, but you're excited for it. Yeah. Not so much Ryan, but you know.
It's like going to the next episode in a series of television. Exactly. There we go.
It's something new and exciting.
Although if you read the synopsis, you pretty much know what's going on. So if every year
we don't read the synopses here.
If every year had a synopsis at the beginning, we would know.
Exactly. We would know.
I do agree. I think New Year's Eve, because there's no requirements really around it that you have to do a specific, like, no tradition. I guess there's some traditions around it, but you can make your own traditions with that holiday.
Yeah.
And there's no religious undertones to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a free for all for anyone to do kind of whatever traditions they want to set forward. And Ryan and I typically lay around and watch scary movies. And then before the stroke of midnight, we usually have some bubbly, either Prosecco or a cheap sparkling wine, or sometimes some actual champagne from the Champagne region in France.
There you go. Mine changes every year, but one of my favorite things is I always like to keep track of what my firsts were for the new year. So my first drink after midnight, my first movie, my first, episode of a TV show, things like that. I always like to think about my firsts and what that might hold for the rest of the year. It's
That's
pretty
fun.
cool.
I like that.
I like doing that.
I think we should skip the next one that I sent you because it doesn't look very good.
No?
I don't know. You take a look at it and tell me what you think. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
Is it because it makes it, well, I think for me, I would probably not like it just because it calls them wacky, because they're not really wacky. They have these traditions for a reason.
Wait, where does it say wacky?
The 11 wacky holiday traditions around the world.
Oh, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm talking about the top 10 quirky, fun, and unusual holiday traditions. I mean, that one has the word quirky in it, but...
Oh, you didn't send that one to me.
Oh, I didn't?
No. You sent the time one twice.
How dare you?
How dare I? You're the one who did it.
I like how you wait until now and make me look like a fool.
Sorry. I didn't realize until we clicked.
In front of all of our
No, you just
listeners.
sent it to me again.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
That's the only... I don't know what's going on then, because that's what it has. There it is.
I'm like, that's the same thing.
So it wasn't my fault. It was the Mac's fault.
The Mac's fault.
Yeah.
Definitely not user error.
No, it was not. Because at the top, I was on the correct one, and for some reason, it had the Times web address at the top, so it hadn't switched over to the other tab. I think the only reason I don't like this one is because it kind of looks like it's broken up by ads, but they're actual pictures. I just don't. I think whoever created this doesn't have very good. And it was 2016. That's why it's really old.
Yeah, it's...
Look at me critiquing this person's web design like I do any better.
I mean, I don't think that I would choose it necessarily, because the very first paragraph under the title is, "The Harlequin community is a great place for romance book lovers to discuss all things book related."
Okay, let's not do this one.
Let's skip that one.
So we'll go to the 11 wacky holiday traditions around the world. This one's at least newer.
That's true.
And then it says from caroling with a horse skull to enjoying Christmas at KFC. These holiday traditions give the old man in the chimney a run for his money. Mm-hmm. By Dylan Lyons. Lion both names.
We're name dropping.
I might as well. We're reading their content.
It's true. All right. Holiday traditions around the world. We'll start with number 1, Krampus, Germany, Austria, and Hungary. Santa's worst half is a hairy, devil-like creature called Krampus. Legend has it that while Santa brings toys to nice children, Krampus's job is to punish kids on the naughty list. Mostly, he just frightens the children with his beastly looks, but it's said that he throws particularly bad children into his sack or chains them up in his basket and carts them off to hell, which seems pretty severe to me. People in Austria and neighboring countries often dress up as Krampus in early December and wander the streets to scare children. That's your favorite holiday.
So it's not Krampus, but Trixie Mattel talks about a holiday tradition in Germany when she lived in Germany when she was a child, called Das Sinterklausen, where he would come down dressed in red and take one of the children. So if you haven't seen that, I think it's an episode. I can't remember if it's an episode or if it's an episode of Queens Who Like to Watch. But she talks about Santa Claus. I think it's Queens Who Like to Watch, now that I said that, actually. Number 2 on this list is Night of the Radishes, which is celebrated in Mexico.
Are you trying to...
Oaxaca?
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, Mexico. I thought that's what it was, but I didn't want to sound ignorant. Oaxaca, Mexico, December 23rd marks La Noche de Rabanos, because there's no tenye. The night of the radishes. Ooh, hold on.
He's kind of under the weather right now. He has a bit of a cold, so every time he's pausing like that, it's because he's coughing his lungs out.
Pardon me. The Night of the Radishes, a festival in which merchants and artisans sell radishes that have been intricately, wow, I've never seen that word spelled out, intricately carved and depict nativity scenes, local wildlife, familiar architecture, and other relevant displays. The radish carvings are sold as Christmas centerpieces, and the creator of the best radish wins a monetary prize. So break out your radishes, people. I love radishes. I think they're delicious.
Radishes are great. I remember as a small kid eating them raw out of the garden, like a little salt, like great stuff.
I never had a garden, so I never did that, but straight from the refrigerator, the little bag that they came in pre-cut.
I love that. The next one is KFC for Christmas, which is in Japan, which I actually knew about. In the United States, we associate Christmas with ham or figgy pudding, but in Japan, it's all about Kentucky Fried Chicken. An estimated 3.5 million Japanese families eat fried chicken on Christmas Eve thanks to a marketing stunt by KFC in the 1970s called Kurisumasu Niwa Kentucky. Kentucky for Christmas. Christians make up a very small percentage of the Japanese population, so this campaign made up for a lack of Christmas holiday traditions. The KFC Christmas meal is so popular, many customers pre-order their dinners, which include fried chicken, cake, and champagne months in advance. I knew it was all a marketing scheme.
I mean, most
Get
traditions
people involved.
Aren't most traditions marketing schemes, really?
True.
Hide the brooms in Norway. Some Norwegians believe witches and evil spirits roam the night sky on Christmas Eve. And what is a witch's preferred mode of transportation? A broomstick. So out of an abundance of caution, people in Norway hide all of the brooms in their houses to prevent any witches from getting their hands on them. Sometimes people will take it a step further by firing a warning gunshot into the air to scare them off. That is dangerous. Do not do that. I actually just saw a video where I don't remember if it was the 4th of July or one holiday recently. It may have been Thanksgiving. Someone had shot a gun like into the air, and it came through a neighbor's window as it came back down. Because remember, what goes up must come down. And it could come down on a person, an animal, a vehicle. Pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Number 5 is the gift-giving witch from Italy. Speaking of witches, the Italian version of Santa Claus is an ugly but kind old witch called La Befana. As the story goes, the Magi stopped at her house to ask for directions on their way to visit baby Jesus. They invited Befana to come with them on their journey, but she said she had too much housework to do. After they left, she changed her mind and tried to find them, but couldn't. So now she flies around on the night of January 5th, the eve... What are you doing?
Don't worry about it. Keep reading.
The eve of the Epiphany, he's making a light show over there while I'm reading, which marks the Magi's meeting with baby Jesus. Much like Santa, La Befana delivers toys to children. Instead of milk and cookies, Italians leave out a plate of sausage and broccoli and a glass of wine for her. And to be honest, that is how I would want to be called forth as well. Sausage, some broccoli, and a glass of wine.
I don't know about broccoli with wine. Depending on the wine. If it's white wine, maybe. But I don't know if I would drink red wine with broccoli.
Right.
I don't know. The next one on the list is Dead Horse Caroling in Wales. You're probably familiar with Christmas caroling, but you're definitely not familiar with the carolers who might show up at your door in Wales. At some point in December or January, you could open your door to find someone hidden by a ribbon bell adorned sheet holding a real horse skull on a stick. with a few fellow
Revelers.
revelers. I hate that word. As part of this Marilaud Grey Mare tradition, the group will sing to you and then challenge you to a battle of rhyming insults in Welsh called Wanco. We're gonna go with that. After the contest, the party is usually invited inside for refreshments. That's kind of fun.
I think so.
Like it breaks into a rap battle.
This one I've actually heard of before. I had to study it for one of my Spanish classes, and it's called Burning of the Devil, and it's in Guatemala. And Guatemalans get fired up for Christmas, literally. December 6th marks La Quema del Diablo, the burning of the devil, which is when families in Guatemala set bonfires outside of their homes and burn effigies of Satan to expunge evil spirits, celebrating the victory of good over evil. In the past, people would bring out all the trash from their houses and set it alight, and some still do. In the wake of environmental backlash, however, many people stick to burning piñatas shaped like the devil. This celebration is accompanied by traditional donuts and warm fruit punch, and it signifies the start of the Christmas season.
That's fun. We'd probably get in trouble, especially in California, if you did that.
Oh, probably.
The next one on the list is Beach Party, and it is in Australia. In the Southern Hampshire, the winter holidays fall during the summer. Oh, sorry, Southern Hemisphere. Wow, I read that completely wrong.
It happens to the best of us.
In the Southern Hemisphere, the winter holidays fall during the summer. Australian temperatures can get as warm as 84 degrees Fahrenheit around Christmas, so naturally, many Australians head to the beach. Families and friends partake in swimming, picnics, and volleyball. Often, some surfing Santas will make an appearance. A couple of Sydney beaches are known to be a hotspot for foreign travelers and backpackers. In recent years, the wild parties thrown have gotten so out of hand that alcohol bans have been implemented.
Oof.
Which that makes sense, because you can get if you get too out of control, you could accidentally drown on the beach.
That's true. That's true. Roller skating to Mass, Venezuela. Ooh, I would not be able to do this. I cannot roller skate. While Australians are surfing, Venezuelans are skating. It's a long-running holiday tradition for the entire capital city of Caracas to roller skate to early morning mass on Christmas Day. In fact, vehicles are banned from many parts of the city before 8 a.m. In case this form of transportation isn't strange enough, the night before, kids will tie one end of a string to their big toe and hang the other end out of their bedroom window so passing roller skaters can give the string a friendly tug on their way to mass the next morning.
That's weird.
I think it's cool, to be honest.
I mean, I think not so much the using rollerblades to roller skates to as your mode of transportation, but the string on the big toe, that's weird. Like, what if someone pulls too hard and it rips your toe off? Or while they're trying to pull, they fall and it rips your toe off.
You know what? I'm going to apologize because I originally thought that you were going to say something about how you really hate feet, and instead you came up with something that's actually kind of fair.
You have to think about it. If someone is like trying on their little roller skates, rolling by, and they see a string hanging from the window, and they go, "Oh, I'm gonna ding ding the bell of this kid," and then they ding ding the bell and trip and fall on their face and rip the toe off, and now they're just rolling around with someone's toe on a string. Like, how?
I'm assuming they don't tie it that tight.
Maybe.
It's probably not a little string either. It's probably like a ribbon type string. Yeah. So it wouldn't cut.
So the next one is lucky spider webs in Ukraine. Would you feel lucky if you found a spider web on your Christmas tree? Probably not. But Ukrainians associate spider webs with good fortune because of an ancient story. In the tale, a poor family grew a Christmas tree with a pine cone. The children were excited to decorate it, but the family couldn't afford any decorations. Sensing the family's despair, spiders spun glistening silk webs around the tree, which turned the which turned the silver which turned to silver and gold when the sun rose in the morning, leaving the family with a beautifully adorned tree. To this day, Ukrainian families decorate their trees with spider webs for good luck. Oh, that's cute. I just got cold chills.
I like that.
I don't know why I got cold chills, but that's adorable.
But hey, like, it resonated with you. Of course I get this one. All right. The pooping log from Catalonia. We saved the wackiest for last. In the Spanish region of Catalonia, a unique holiday tradition is called Tio de Nadal, which roughly translates to Christmas log. The hollowed out log is given a face, legs, and a little red hat. Starting December 8th, families feed the log every night by filling it with presents and candy. They also put a blanket over the log to keep it warm. On Christmas Eve, the log is placed in the unlit fireplace, and members of the family take turns bashing it with a stick, commanding it to defecate out the presents and candy while singing traditional songs. After the beating, family members reach below the log's blanket to retrieve the gifts.
I feel like I've heard of this.
I also feel like I've heard of this. It sounds very familiar.
Or something similar to this. I don't know. It's very strange. But I mean, hey, it works. Whatever your family likes. Well, that's all I brought to the table today. What else do you want to talk about, Crazy?
Well, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to shout out my friend Gemini's web design business, because she's going through it right now with the holidays and everything being really expensive. She's really trying to make things work, and it's the holidays, and she can't do anything fun like get gifts or anything like that for anybody because she doesn't have the money. So I'm waiting right this second because I wanted to make sure I'm telling people the correct website to go to. But if you need any web design, you can check out my friend Gemini. And I think it's Web Gems. Let me double check. Web Gems. But yeah, like that's just because it is the holiday season. And it's hard on everybody out here. So if we can, support each other. I don't have any money to support, but I know that at least shouting things out helps people. So
yeah,
I cannot find the link, and she is not sending it fast enough. Hold on one second.
If she doesn't send before we wrap up, just send it to me and I will link it to our podcast description.
Julio. But yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I have a busy weekend actually. So tomorrow I am going to get my car serviced, and then tomorrow evening, I am going to a potluck, which we talked about last week, with the group that does our ESL program in Quincy in our facility. And I'm still trying to figure out what to take. I think I'm just going to make risotto and take some risotto with the understanding that it's probably going to be not hot, but not cold when I get there because I'm traveling over 40 miles almost. And then Sunday, I'm going to get my eyes tested because I want to get new glasses. And I need a new prescription for my glasses.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to do that. So
sounds good.
TexasWebGems.com.
Yep. And every way to contact her is on the website.
So she does website design, web design?
Yes, she does web design. She's also a singer-songwriter who has 2 albums on Spotify right now. And she drives for Lyft. So she's doing it all.
Interesting. That's cool. Does she have like her Spotify stuff listed on here?
I don't know if she has it listed on there, but I have the Spotify. I just have to pull up my Spotify. Hello, Spotify. Open. Everything. is crazy forever. I have some plans this weekend, which
Oh,
I'm very.
you should have told me on the website. If you need a theme song or some form of audio representation for your online brand, I've got you there. So whenever we were looking for a new theme song, we could have asked her to do it. Although you didn't know her. Never mind.
I didn't know her then.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I totally would have. But we could always change up our theme song for the next season.
Maybe next season.
Phoenix. Here we go. And we're going to copy link.
But aside from the getting my eyes tested, then I think Ryan and I are going to go to the mall and get lunch on Sunday somewhere in the mall.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Because that's where my eye doctor is at. It's not my eye doctor. It's an eye doctor in the lens crafters at the mall.
Cool. I am what?
I was gonna say, other than that, nothing.
Nick and I are going on a date.
Okay.
And we're going because he had asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I was just like, I don't know. And he's just like, well, think about it. What do you want for Christmas? And I was like, a book date. I want to go to the bookstore. I want a Christmas bookstore date. And he was just like, I was thinking of something you could open, but I mean, we can do that too. So we're going for a Christmas bookstore date tomorrow night, and I'm very excited. What are you looking at?
I was typing. Leave me alone.
Oh, you looked so serious. I was trying to figure out what you were doing.
I was typing. Leave me alone. Gosh, so rude.
I'm sorry. It's just your face. Oh my God. I have to tell you something.
How dare you?
So funny. All right. First of all,
she had to get situated for this conversation.
I had to get situated. So my sister, I love my sister so much. My sister currently has COVID. She says she's fine, that she's just bored. Okay. So she texted my mom at 11 o'clock at night. And this is what she was texting my mom. She said, what are the odds you would get me a pizza? Did I just miss you? Did you go to bed? I'm hoping that I can mentally bring you back. You should have some sort of maternal instinct that tells you to check FB one more time so that you can buy me a pizza.
That's funny.
I'm like, that is absolutely Hannah. For sure. So funny to me. But then the other thing too is I had sent James a TikTok of a pigeon spinning around
Oh my God.
Swallow by Jason Derulo because I thought it was really funny. And
do you want me to read my response? I can read my response.
Yes. Please read your response.
She sent me this mess and I responded. Hold on, let me find it real quick.
I laughed so hard I cried.
My response to this little weird pigeon just circling around, like literally it's like they put it on it's just a picture, like it's not even an actual pigeon, but it's just like going around in a circle. It's some weird song, Swallow. I've never heard that song in my life. Derulo. So I said, I sometimes wonder why you send me stuff. Then I realized, oh yeah, she's not mentally well. And then like four cry laughing emojis. And then I followed it up with the I didn't follow it right up with, but like not too long afterwards, I sent the maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's mental illness, isn't it?
Mental illness, isn't it?
Because Sarah is mentally ill. She is not mentally there.
I am not. It's true. I am significantly mentally ill. What's really funny though is I did one of those things on TikTok where it tells you like what you're gonna have in 2024.
Oh yeah.
And mine came up saying I was gonna get a new mental illness.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
It was just like, I already have so many, please.
Speaking of TikTok, my TikTok, the one that I posted that you commented on, I very rarely post on TikTok, but I sometimes play the little games that they have that come up, and there's like the parking ones now that they have where you like try and park it in the right spot. So there's the one, if anyone has seen it and tried it, and it's not that difficult, but with the ambulance parking it under the hospital, like little lean-to thing. So I did it very first time, flipped it, and it parked perfectly. Got a 1,000, and I was like, you can hear me. Like it's just you can barely see my head out of the top of it, and I just go. And then that's the end of the TikTok. That's all it is.
And that was like, my favorite thing.
I was like, I can't not post this.
Right. Like, because that's never going to happen again.
It's like, I just do it because I don't want to actually I just want to play the game, and I just do it so that I can do it. And then I end it. But it was one shot and I got it perfectly. I was like, this will never happen again. So I'm posting it, and it's done.
Love that. Love everything about that. It was a great video, funny. To be honest. Yeah. I was just like, wow, that was great. Also, I really just loved your.
there's literally no sound. There's no music attached to it. It's just part of my head, the brick behind me, and then the game. And I do it, and I go, and that's the end of the TikTok.
Yep. Perfect. Excellent TikTok. 10 out of 10. How many views have you gotten so far?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that.
I only pay attention because suddenly, like randomly, some of my videos will just do numbers. I'm like, why? That wasn't even funny or anything. I'm just being stupid, but here we are.
Oh, it's got 2 views, it says. So me and probably you.
Me and you. That's us, buddy. That's us. Whew.
Interesting. All right. Well, do you want to call it a podcast?
Yeah, I think we can call it a podcast.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. If you liked the episode, please give us a like, a comment, and don't forget to follow or subscribe. And then if you'd like to leave a review in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, this will help get the podcast out to more people and help us grow. Feel free to follow us on social media. All of our handles are at Now About That Pod everywhere. And if there is a specific topic that you would like us to discuss on the podcast, feel free to email us at nowaboutthatpod@gmail.com or visit our website, www.nowaboutthatproductions.com. You can also leave us a voicemail or text any questions you would like us to discuss on the podcast. Our phone number is 765-557-4170. Again, thanks for listening, and we hope you have a great week. And Sarah, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too. Enjoy going to the eye doctor.
I'm just excited to get new glasses. I love these glasses, but I do kind of want some new ones because it's been over a year since I got these.
Sorry.
Excuse you?
Every time somebody says it's been in my head, I hear the song.
Oh, God.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
I regret asking. Anyways, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, so really quickly, welcome back. I just remembered I wanted to talk about something before we ended the podcast. So I don't know if you've seen this, but there is a really funny video. It's not really funny. It's a really empowering video going around. I don't remember if it's from the mothers. So it says Mothers Against Greg Abbott, but it's Mothers Against something. But it's this video of, and I don't know if you've seen it, and I'll send it to you if you haven't, it starts off at a pool with a little like floaty and a little girl sitting next to the pool. Mm-hmm. And the little girl is like grabbing for the pool floaty, trying to get on it. And then she falls into the water.
Okay.
And she can't swim. So she's just under the water. And then her mom runs up and starts praying. And then all these people start running up and start praying. And it's all about saying thoughts and prayers for gun control instead of actually actioning and not doing anything. So it's very interesting. And I saw it and I was like, ooh, that's really, really interesting and very like touching.
Yeah, no, that makes a huge statement. I have not seen it, but that makes a really big statement, I think.
So I'll send it.
Principle, like,
yeah. So yeah, I'll send it to you, and then let me see if I can find. I don't know if I can find the actual video. This one, the one that I'm looking at, is from Brian Tyler Cohen, but he has Mothers Against Greg Abbott linked to it, and I've seen it multiple times. But it's a really like it makes sense based on like the video. That's not where I want to send it. And it kind of is like, why is it okay for this to receive thoughts and prayers when there's action that could be taken, obviously? And there's literally like a group of people sitting in the pool that are just like, oh, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
That's it. That was all I wanted.
Like, how could we have prevented this? There's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
Pull the child out of the water.
So there'll be this will be the extra little at the end. If for those of you that, if you wait until the end, you'll get to hear a little extra commentary on a commercial that came out for gun safety.
There we go.
And that's all.
All right.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye.